City Council District 1. And he talked about strengthening relationships between community and police. And I want to be upfront. Right now, I do not hate police whatsoever. In fact, my husband is a police officer. He's been on the force for over 20 years. And so you can imagine our conversations in our household and how we feel. Because, I mean, he is staunch supporter. And I back the blue, too. But what I tell him is I back the good blue. I don't back the blue that does wrong and want to cover it up. And unfortunately, that's a national problem. That's not something that's just in Tulsa. That's a national problem. And so one of the interventions that, and this is something we've been fighting for well over a year, in fact, a year and a half. And some of you may have heard about an effort to create an African American Affairs Commission. Okay, so I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about that because there are some that are saying that it's divisive and that it's something that is splitting the community. And that's absolutely not what it is. And I want to talk to you, or just explain to you a little bit about the mission of what this commission would do. First, I want to say, there's a Human Rights Commission, and it's been in existence for 49 years. There is a Status of Women Commission. It's been in existence for 31 years. There is a Hispanic Commission. It's been in existence for 37 years. And there is an Indian Affairs Commission that's been in existence for 25 years. All of these commissions have been in existence. We've never had one for the African American community. And so this is one idea. It's not going to solve every problem we face in the African American community or in this city, but it is a concept that I think, and others, because it's not just me that's been in this fight, that can move us forward in the direction that we want to go. And so the mission of the African American Affairs Commission is to, or would be, to improve and promote the economic development, education, health, and political well-being of the African American community in the greater Tulsa area. The AAC will accomplish these goals by encouraging and promoting unity, purpose, and understanding among the African American community, enlightening the general public toward better understanding of the African American people and community, aiding in the preservation of the African culture, acting in an advisory and advocacy capacity to the greater Tulsa area, encouraging and promoting cooperation between the African American community and the executive, administrative, and legislative branches of government for the benefit and welfare of this community, making recommendations of African Americans for appointments to various City of Tulsa boards, councils, commissions, assisting in the enhancement and promotion of educational opportunity within the African American community, and to otherwise promote the general welfare of African Americans in the greater Tulsa area. So what about that is divisive? Absolutely nothing. To the contrary, what it does is it brings us together because it promotes understanding. And once we understand each other, then that automatically is going to be something positive through understanding. And so I take issue with those that are out there that are saying that this is something that is divisive. I want you to know that it absolutely is not. I want to give you one example of something that the Hispanic Commission has done fairly recently. They had an issue of concern about Spanish-speaking police officers. They felt that they didn't have enough. And so, as officers would approach or have some type of interaction with some of the Hispanic people, there was a communication barrier. So they worked through their commission. They worked with the City of Tulsa Police Department to get more Spanish-speaking officers on the force. And in fact, they go to Texas and Mexico now to recruit. And so now the number of Spanish-speaking and bilingual officers has improved. And so that is an effort that was done. That's just an example. And all of the commissions have that. The status of women. One of their flagship issues is women incarceration. And this year, after their interventions, this year was the first year that they actually see the numbers in Tulsa County of women going into the prison system decline, where others have increased throughout this state. But Tulsa has declined. Again, interventions. And so what these commissions do, they identify issues and concerns. And obviously, community policing would be an issue and a concern for the African American Affairs Commission. And so I'm not saying that it is the answer to all of our problems, but it is something that we can do to take us in the right direction and to just support that communication and that dialogue that needs to take place so that there is understanding. And so that's pretty much all I have to say. Again, I'm going to thank Gerald for this opportunity. That is something that I think that would match or meet up with your goal of strengthening relationships between community and policing. And I think that the African American Press Commission can do so much in that regard, as well as other issues that we face in our community. So I would appreciate your support on that. We have had to have several protests, peaceful protests, over the last year and a half as it relates. It would be awesome if this many people could come out for those protests and encourage our mayor and our city council to vote this commission into creation. So I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Very informative. I told y'all we're going to make a change. I'm letting y'all know from the bottom of my heart, I'm going to do everything I can to help everybody on this panel with their mission and their goals. I'm going to be in touch with you all. Whatever you bring up here to the table, I'm going to try to do my best to help you all. And that was a great idea. I love the example of the Hispanic community finding more Spanish-speaking officers. This is, hey, anybody knows me? I'm sorry, news cameras know. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I'm so blunt and so honest. First of all, I'm giving a shout out to all the ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of news stations here. I believe 2, 6, and 23 are here. I apologize if I miss anybody. Y'all give them a round of applause. They were interviewing the lady, the Ryan survivor. Now, this is where I'm going to give a number, y'all, straight up. I know racism exists, and they ain't never going nowhere. Let me tell you why. Because if we had a country with all black people, we'd still be discriminated against each other. The light skin versus dark skin, the rich versus poor, there's discrimination everywhere you go. You're not going to eliminate it, okay? But let me tell y'all something right here that y'all don't notice is so beautiful right now. There are more white people here than there are black. Black people, y'all please get over here. So some black people don't like some of that more. Y'all crazy? All y'all have to do better than that. Y'all clap them all up here rapping. Black people give the other races around the world. I see a sea of everything. Y'all just don't understand how beautiful that is, man. So let's not focus on these bad apples posting comments on Facebook and saying crazy things. This is what I'm talking about right here. I would never give them donations, and I give all these people. I thank each and everybody that came out here. So, whew, let's keep it going. Speaking of different races, we got an African American and a white male coming up here. My friends coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all give it up for Jay Hancock and Stephen Jones from the Oklahoma Minor Football League Association. Come on.
Somebody say, hey, you know what, he's right. Let's all make some noise for peace. Yo, Frankie? You know, I grew up around Tulsa. I went to a predominantly black high school. I was one of 4 white boys on my high school football team. Central High School. I know Gerald since then. Terence, obviously, he's a good friend of mine also. Miss Harper, what's she going to do for us? Come on. I'm not going to speak from the heart from right now because God touched me at 3 o'clock this morning, and he woke me up and he said, hey, this is what you need to say. So here we go. And I apologize if this is a nice crowd. I don't do this very often, but we're going to do this. All right. Somewhere in our community, at this moment, a tear is falling in the face of a child, orphaned, hungry, alone, and helpless. That single tear takes a long and endless journey, a journey from the eyes that have seen way too much, across the cheek that rarely gets kissed goodnight, down a jawline that longs for nourishment, and on the hands that seem to hold the weight of the world. Although our hearts ache for her and we are sad for her, it's by our own doing that is causing that cry. She's crying because of the war of hate that rages around her. She hurts because of the painful memories in her home tumbling down around her. Her crying is a symbol of the pain implemented by hatred in a place where neighborhood is synonymous with enemies. And we wonder how and why this is happening. There was a man named John Lennon who once wrote a song entitled Imagine. As he wrote the words, in which he wrote the words that would forever challenge all nations, he said, imagine all the people living in life in peace, and all the world will live as one. John and I have the same dream. I imagine every day what real peace would taste like, how it smells, and how it feels. I imagine a radiant beauty of love in the heart of every human, united and hopeful for the future. Then I wonder, what's it going to take to make this dream become a reality? I wonder how many people will put down their grudges and set aside their differences and negate selfishness for us to be able to live on a planet free of racism, hatred, and murder. Every person with a religion will practice with peace. Every inventor with an idea will create in peace. Every musician will sing in peace. Every skin color, every mindset, every lifestyle, every tradition, every heart, every culture will be equal, exalted, and united in peace.